Stricker, and we're going to go over multi-step molar conversions today. And a quick review is the first day we went over what the mole was, and then it's the SI unit for the counting. And that Avogadro was a scientist that founded that 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms or molecules. That's how many molecules or atoms makes up 1 mole of anything. And then the next day we went over molar conversions. And you can see that going from atoms to moles or converting from moles to atoms, you will always use 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd for the conversion factor. And then we went over volume, which 1 mole of any gas has a volume of 22.4 liters at STP. And so when we're doing molar conversions to volume, you will always use that conversion factor. And then molar mass is what we did yesterday, and that is going to depend on the element or compound or molecule that you're using, and you add up all of the things in it. Okay, so today what we're working on is what happens if I'm given grams or given the mass and I'm asked to say how many atoms is that. All right? And what I'm going to tell you is you cannot go directly from mass straight to atoms. You can't do that. You cannot go directly from atoms straight to volume. You can't do it. And you can't go directly from volume, which is in liters, to mass. So instead of that, you have to go through the mole hole. All right? Now, the mole hole means you're going to convert your mass to moles, then you're going to convert moles to atoms. And we can do that because we know how to do conversion factors. All right? So if I'm beginning with liters and it asks for atoms, then I'm first going to convert my volume, which is in liters, to moles, then convert moles to atoms. And you're going to be using skeleton equations. Okay, so whatever given unit you have, we're going to say you're given 96.1 liters of carbon dioxide, and I want to know how many atoms of carbon dioxide that is. Well, we use our conversion factors, and we're going to have that over 1, step 1. Step 2, we're going to put the unit of what we start with on the bottom. Step 3, we're going to convert to moles, because we got to go through the mole hole of carbon dioxide, and it's going to be 22.4 liters to 1 mole, because we always use that as our conversion factor for liters to moles. Then we're going to go from moles to atoms, and we're going to use 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms to 1 mole. We're going to multiply the top, divide by the bottom, and we're going to get our answer. And so that's how you do multi-step conversions. And so we're always going to have 3 fence posts instead of just the 1 that we did the other day, or 2 that we did the other day. All right, so if I'm going from mass, and anytime it asks me for mass, all right, you're going to use grams. So if it gives me, 25 grams, 0.0 grams of H2, and it asks me how many, or what's the volume of 25 grams of H2, if I'm asked for volume, I'm going to finish with liters, but I'm starting with grams. I can't go directly there, so I have to go through the mole hole. So it's grams of H2, 2 moles of H2, and that's going to be 2 from the periodic table, 2 times 1.008, which is 2.016 to 1 mole. And then I'm going to go moles to liters of H2. All right, you're going to use your 22.4 liters to 1 mole there. So I'm going to multiply 25 times 22.4 divided by 2.016 is how I would do that. All right, so hopefully this helps. And then the last thing is this, and a lot of students are struggling with the problem, is when you're reading a problem. For example, the first one says, if you have 12.55 grams of NO2, how many molecules of NO2 would you have? And a lot of students are struggling with where to start. Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to underline what are you going to finish with? What are you asked for? So how do we know what we're asked for? You got to look at the question word in the question, which is how, right? How, like the Indian hello. Okay, that tells you that you're looking for molecules, all right, of N2. So that's what I'm going to finish with, is molecules of N2 will be my final thing. And what am I starting with? It says if I had 12.55 grams of NO2. So in that problem, I'm going to start with 12.55 grams of NO2, convert to moles of NO2, and then go to molecules of NO2. So make sure you know where you're starting, and make sure you know where you're finishing, and make sure you go through the mole hole to get there. Thanks.